So much about the offense has changed, but one of the things that stuck out in the first game was, Shadre Hurst playing left tackle, Elijah Baker left guard, and then kind of the turnstile on the right side. How much does just having the starting O-line out there help you guys do what you want to do?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, going into that game, EB made his first start at left guard. That's a tough game to go make your first start in, and Shadre had to kick out the tackle. And I think Chadre knows this as well as we all know this. He's not a tackle, So they went and played their best, did a really good job. EB actually got our player of the game that game, which was great to see. But like you mentioned, Maddie, on the right side too, we've been we're early in the season moving people around, and now we feel like we have our five, and the continuity up front's been pretty stable the last couple of weeks.
And then obviously, the passing game is still kind of trying to find its way, but, you hadn't discovered really Jamari McClure yet. Javen Gordon was starting to come out of his shell. So I guess how much does the run game really help you guys be able to set the tone in this matchup?
Yeah, it's what we want to do. I think that's no secret. We're a run-first football team, and so obviously getting those guys going with Jamari, like you said, Javen coming on. Javen played a little bit in that game. Jamari got some mop-up duty in that game. And so to kind of get those guys going through the season and have them for this week will be good.
When it comes to the throw game, and then you got a guy like Jake Retzloff who's also extending plays too, how much does he really set the tone for not just the pass game but the run game as well? I guess what does he add to that?
Yeah, well, he adds the quarterback run element, right, that maybe we didn't have as much last year. Haven't had as much, in our pass at Troy. And so, when the defense knows he can run a little bit too, they have to obviously account for him in the run game and even in the pass game to be able to scramble and those kind of things. So, his ability to run is huge, and it's been really big for our success this year.
And Summerall talked about even in the last matchup that their defense, they're elite communicators. Ole Miss's defense, elite communicators, and their defensive backs, kind of gave y'all problems as well. Just what have you seen from them since?
Yeah, a lot of the same. They're really good on the back end, like you mentioned. They do communicate a lot. It gets loud there, and so you see them using a lot of hand signals and really communicating at a high level. You see their coaches on the sideline, basically on the field, pointing out things that they're seeing, and so. It's a great challenge for us. They're a really good, solid defense, and they've gotten better, I think, throughout the year. They found certain guys that we saw on tape early on that we they should be starting that guy, but they're not, and they kind of figured that out, and they're playing them now. So, they've gotten a lot better this year for sure.
From your perspective, the first time y'all played, Jake had been on campus for maybe a month and a half or something like that. What was the process like of trying to get him up to speed, and how much has he grown in these short months?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is I'm from Alabama, and, they have the race called Talladega, and it was like that every day for Jake, whether it be learning, the offense, going in another circle and going to school, trying to finish out BYU, and then coming back, learning the offense some more, another install. And so it was a race to see how fast he could learn and finish school at BYU. And so when all that was done with, I think he'll tell you that, he was able to take a huge deep breath and just focus on football. And then, getting into some of the games, we were missing some things early. A lot of that, the continuity with, receivers and quarterbacks being on the same page with a lot of things. Our receivers getting used to his balls. It was a little hot early on to those guys, but getting used to his ball speed and how he places the ball and those kind of things, and even him learning our receivers, like when they're certain read routes and things like of that nature, right? So learning his receivers as well was crucial, and that's what it takes. Right now we've had a whole season, so now we feel like we're on that right page.
And you've obviously went against Pete Golden as a defensive coordinator in that first game. Now he's the head coach. From your perspective, what allows him to be such a good defensive mind and has allowed him obviously to be promoted as the head coach?
Yeah, he does a lot of really good things. He's done it for a lot of years. His tree of coaching, goes back a long ways, and a lot of really good coaches in that tree. So he does a really good job. Very multiple, always keeps you off balance. You're not going to see the same look twice, and he does a good job of matching up your stuff too. And so he does a good job with all that stuff. It's going to be interesting to see because I believe he's been in the box all year, if I'm not mistaken. Now he obviously can't be the head coach from the box, so it'll be interesting to see their dynamic, to see how they work that out.
Back here, Coach, when it came to the game, obviously a lot didn't go right for the offense, but if you could point at one thing that needs to be better.
Third down. Yeah, I already know it. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, that's easy, man. Like, we weren't great on third down early on in the game. We had a couple things that we missed, a couple things that we dropped, a couple things that I didn't scheme up right, and so we've got to be better on third down. Got to stay on the field, keep the ball away from their offense a little bit by doing that, and then. One thing that also stands out is, in the second half when we did move the ball down there, is we didn't score in the red zone. So those are two things that, we've got to be better at. Early in the year, our whole offense as a whole, we struggled in the red zone. So I think we've come a long way from that. And so we've got to be great on third down and red zone, and we got to take care of the ball a little bit better.
And as an assistant under Coach John Summerall, what do you think about the job he's been able to do to juggle the two hats and still lead you guys as you get ready for the CFP game?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't know how he does that, to be honest. I don't know how he sleeps. There's a lot going on, but I'll say this, man. John Summerall is 100% focused on this job right now. We have an unbelievable opportunity to go win a college football playoff game, and something these guys have worked extremely hard to do. John will tell you, Coach Summerall will tell you, we're servant leaders. We're here for our players. And, I knew when he took the job that he wasn't going to leave just yet, because we still have the job's not finished, like he said. So it's unbelievable what he's done, but he's doing it just like we all are for these guys. Because they deserve it. They've worked their butt off, and we owe them our absolute best.
Okay. The receivers struggle to get open against Ole Miss. Obviously, Ole Miss has a really good secondary, but how much – you've talked about the chemistry with Jake, but how much have the receivers as a group improved as the year has gone along?
Yeah, I would say the receivers didn't quite struggle. I think it's just you feel like, it's a little bit different animal, right? It's the SEC, so the coverages are a little bit tighter, the man coverage a little bit stickier. So I think our guys got open fine. I just think that, early in the year, that chemistry between Jake and those guys weren't quite there yet, and I think that we've come a long way, like I said, and I think our guys will do a great job of getting open versus them, and we'll do some things to try to help with that as well. That's on us, on me, to be able to do that. But I look forward to those guys. That's the challenge in my mind is on the perimeter and our receivers being able to make plays in the passing game. Thank you all. Appreciate it. See y'all.